Original.
Hello, and welcome to the Web Crawlers Friday mini episode. I am Allie Siegel.
I'm Melissa Stetton.
You know what I thought would be fun?
What?
Like if we dropped our personal information.
Oh,
like online information.
Oh, great.
If you guys want to follow me online, I'm Twitter at OnlineAllison and Instagram at AllieBaby90. What about you, Melissa?
I'm Melissa Stetton on everything.
That's cool. Is there anything else you want to like promote or pump?
Well, we have our 90 Day Fiancé podcast.
Yeah, we do. We have if you're a fan of 90 Day Fiancé, you can follow that podcast at 90 Day Fiancé Slumber Party.
Yeah, we do it with Rachel Fisher from Hollywood Crime Scene.
And it's a great podcast. It's fun.
It's a good time.
Fun for the whole family. Maria, where can people follow you online, or do you have anything you want to promote?
If you guys are interested in podcasts, which I think you are because you're listening to Web Crawlers, and you're maybe going like, oh, Web Crawlers is over for the day. What can I listen to now? Go check out the big ones.
What's that, Maria?
Thank you for asking. It's another podcast where myself. It's me, myself.
myself.
And it's me, myself, and my friend Amanda. And we talk, we talk about all things moral quandaries. And the Web Crawlers have been guests. So if you want to dip your toes in just to see, how it feels with some people you already know, go listen to the Web Crawlers episode where we talk about, if you were in a mine...
Yeah.
If you were, what was it? If you trapped in a mine.
And then someone confessed that they had murdered and you think that you're going to die. If you're in a mine and you're trapped in there and you think that you're never going to get out, you're going to die in there. And someone turns to you and confesses that they've murdered someone.
Yeah.
And then you get out of the mine. What would you do?
Do you narc on them?
Yeah.
And it got intense and people got hurt.
Also, is that the episode where Allie talked about scaling her ex-boyfriend's
I talked
building?
about breaking into my ex-boyfriend's part.
So it's a fun time.
It's a really fun time. So check that out. And then any other Erio show.
There's a lot of them.
Just go peruse.
Yeah. Great. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, so let's get into our mini episode. Missing girls in Panama.
Yeah, this is a story that I've kind of been following for a while. That's always kind of in the back of my mind, like, what the hell happened to these girls?
Yeah, Melissa, tell us about it.
Okay, all right. In 2014, weird, same year as the Watcher house.
Weird.
So Chris Kremers and Lisa Froon, they were students from the Netherlands. They left their host's family in Panama to take the family's dog on a walk through the Panamanian jungle. And it would be the last time anyone would see them.
Uh-oh.
Correct response. So they'd spent 6 months planning this trip to Panama, which was supposed to serve as part vacation, part service trip, and they planned on spending some time hiking and touring while also volunteering with local children, teaching arts and crafts and learning Spanish. So they'd been hiking around the jungle for the past 2 weeks as part of a backpacking mission trip, and they intended to stay for the next 4 weeks with their host family to volunteer. However, after they left at 11 a.m. on April 1st, they were never seen again. They wrote this Facebook post about their intentions to tour the local village, and they wrote that they had brunch with a fellow Dutchman before embarking on their hike. But then on the night of April 1st, the host family noticed something was wrong. Their dog returned, but the girls were not anywhere to be found.
I was going to ask about the dog.
Yeah, the dog went home.
And the listener mail comes rolling in.
Oh, no.
Sorry, I have a mouthful of food. Continue.
So the host family searched the area around the home, but they decided to wait until morning to alert the authorities. And then the next day, the girls missed an appointment with a local tour guide who was supposed to take them on a tour. And then they started a search. The police started a search. It was an aerial search, a foot search in the village, in the wooded areas. And then 4 days later, they were still missing. And so their families flew to Panama. They brought detectives with them to the Netherlands, or from the Netherlands. And along with the police and the dogs, they searched the forest for 10 days. And then, as the police were slowing their efforts, a local woman turned in a blue backpack. And she said she found it in a rice paddy along the banks of the river. And inside the backpack were 2 pairs of sunglasses, $83 in cash, their Froon's passport, a water bottle, and 2 bras.
Huh.
And also inside was Froon's camera and both of the women's cell phones.
Uh-oh. So police immediately investigated the camera and phones and came up with disturbing evidence. The phone had remained in service for almost 10 days after the women disappeared. Over just 4 days, 77 separate attempts had been made to call the police, both via 112, the emergency number in the Netherlands, and 911, the emergency number in Panama. Using the call logs, police were able to come up with an outline of the time the girls spent missing in the forest. The first 2 emergency calls had been just hours after they began their hike. Due to the dense jungle, neither of the attempts went through. In fact, out of the 77 calls, only 1 managed to make contact, but broke up after just 2 seconds. Police also discovered that on April 6, several unsuccessful attempts were made to unlock Kramer's phone with an incorrect PIN number. It never received the correct number again. By April 11th, both phones were dead. The photos on their phone were odd. The first photos on the camera were taken in the morning when they left for their hike. They showed them on a trail near the Continental Divide, nothing unusual. However, the second set of photos were strange. Taken in the dead of night, between the hours of 1 and 4 a.m. on April 8th, about 90 photos showed the girls' belongings spread out on rocks, plastic bags and candy wrappers, oddly piled mounds of dirt, a mirror, and, most worrisome, the black of Kramer's head with blood leaking from her temple.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's bad. After investigating the area where the backpack had been found, police found Kramer's clothing neatly folded along the edge of the river. 2 months later, in the same area, a pelvic bone and a foot still inside a boot were found. Soon after that, the bones of both women were discovered. Lisa Froon's bones looked as if they had decomposed naturally, as there were still bits of flesh attached to them. Kramer's bones were stark white and looked as if they had been bleached.
So the police questioned all the locals, the tour guides, and other hikers who had been in the area, but nothing besides the photos and the call logs provided them with any evidence as to what happened. And there wasn't even enough evidence to determine the cause of death. So to this day, the disappearance and the deaths of Chris and Lisa remain a mystery. So the photos, there's some of those photos online.
Oh, God.
Where it's just like, they use the flash and it's just like pitch black, but it's just like their stuff laid out on rocks.
That's very Blair Witch.
Yeah. And so some people think that maybe they were using the flash on their camera as like kind of a flashlight.
To see stuff? Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And one picture, it was of one of the girls' like bloody heads, like maybe
she fell and they were trying to take a picture of how bad it was.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. That's possible.
So, and it's weird that one of her foot was inside of a boot. So maybe they died. Maybe someone got injured and then like the animals ate them. But then in 2017, there was another murder of a girl in Panama. And so the FBI thought maybe they had a connection to the unsolved deaths of the 2 girls on a different hiking trail. So maybe the police were like, well, maybe it's a serial killer. Because the other girl's body was found 35 miles from where the other 2 girls were found.
Is there any like cannibalism in the area?
Oh, because they're, yeah.
Well, wasn't one of their bodies just like cleaned off, no meat?
Yeah. I mean, that could be animals, I guess.
I mean,
but that was only like a month. I don't know, it was 2 months later. Is that enough time for like a
Animals
body to decompose?
I don't know, man.
Seems weird.
Well, I mean, that's definitely a weird thing of the week to me.
It's a weird thing of the week. And if you look at the pictures online, it's like they're eerie.
What do I Google?
Chris Kramers and Lisa Froon, or like Panama missing girls.
I mean, I'm sure that would.
Yeah, the pictures are just like, it's just like this, just pictures of like their surroundings. But there's like 90 of them. Anyway, who knows? It's unsolved.
It's also weird that it's just her foot in a boot. So, like, does that mean that, like, her foot was cut off? Like,
yeah, right? That's odd.
I mean, you don't trip and, like, lose your foot.
Well, we don't know that.
I did break my foot last year.
You did.
I broke it in a dance circle. It was really embarrassing.
Anyways,
yeah. So if you know anything more about this case, let us know. Melissa, where can people email us?
Webcrawlerspod@gmail.com or on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. Send us your emails.
Yeah,
weird stuff.
Let us know. Again, send us your own weird stuff, and we'd love to cover it in future episodes. And don't forget, follow us on our own personal stuff because we love to chat and listen to the big ones with Maria and me and all her friends. Me and all her friends. I'm Allie Siegel.
I'm Melissa Stetton.
Thank you for listening to Weird Thing of the Week.
Bye.
Bye.
An Erios original.
Powered by Acast.